Hello, I'm Angela Emery with Radiate Naturally. Um, Today is not your usual video or blog post that I usually have or talk about. I'm talking about a completely different subject altogether. But this also lies in with emotional abuse. And my passion with Radiate Naturally to help out with emotional abuse and also spiritual abuse. This is my story. I will start my story by leading with this is not an attack on my parents, the religion, or my family that's still in the congregations. This is just my experience and my truth, and what has led me to leave the organization and also grow my business in the way that I have. I was born as a Jehovah's Witness in 1980. My mother always talks about the story that when she was holding a beautiful baby girl and she wanted a better life for her daughter. So soon after I was born, she started studying. She became baptized. Soon after that, my father became baptized. And then after that, that's all I knew. They originally were Baptists, but they transferred into the Jehovah's Witness organization. After years and years of being a Jehovah's Witness, it was normal. That's all I knew from infancy. And I'm going to go through the story first and then backtrack later. I was baptized at age 13, around June 13th, 1993. And then went through the organization. My father was an elder. I did all that I could to spread the word, spread the message. I became a pioneer soon after graduating high school. Right after graduating high school, became a pioneer and a missionary, and also just spread the word. About 2011 is when I left, and to the shock of a lot of my family, friends, and support group in the organization. And here's why. In 1993, when I was baptized, it was more because it was the thing to do than because of what what I believed in. In that day and time, the elders' daughters would always get baptized around that age. My best friend had got baptized beforehand. Another good friend of mine she was doing well, what have you. So there's a lot of peer pressure in the organization to do things that you needed to do to keep the look up. And being that my dad was an elder or ministerial servant at the time, I can't remember which at the time, that's when I would constantly get into questions about once a month, maybe twice every 2 months, when you're going to get baptized. Oh, I look forward to you being baptized, what have you, yada, yada, yada. I was an all-A student, always got good grades, what have you, so I always did what my parents told me to do, which was get baptized. When I said I was going to get baptized, they was overjoyed, happy, what have you, etc. During this time, it never really felt like the truth. I never really understood why we had to go knocking on doors to bring other people to the church. Looking back on it, it was always just weird to me to do that, because I'm not about to tell you or just preach to you one thing if you already believe another, if you're not looking for it. To this day, even with fitness, I'm a big believer that, if you're looking for it, I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. But if you're not, I'm not about to force feed you. I have friends right now who are overweight, and they know I'm a personal trainer. And they'll say, oh, girl, I need to lose weight. And I say, okay. Because I'm not about to force feed you. When you're ready, you're ready. When you're ready to lose weight, you're going to contact me. If you don't, that's fine. If you have questions, you know to ask me. Now, there are times when I would say, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. But I'm not going to knock on your door and go, hey, this is the truth. You should be this. This should be the truth right here. This is the truth. When you have your own support group, you have your own truth. So there are plenty of times where I was just going through the motions. Even being a pioneer, I went through the motions so that I could keep the good name. We were kind of in competition with another family in the group that they seem to have it all. So my mom was always comparing us to this other family, and always comparing us to this other family, how they did things and how they were perceived from the outside looking in. Because in my mom's eyes, they were perfect. They were the outstanding Jehovah's Witnesses. They were the ones that we should follow. Around the age of 13, 14, 15, my hormones came into play, okay? Let's just be real. Let's just be real. My hormones, and I want to say my pussy saved my life, okay? My vagina saved my life in the organization. I'll just put it out there. Yeah. Um, I was very, very, I, I will say this, that I'm thankful to be able to grew up Jehovah's Witness, because at least I had that stronghold and that backing that I didn't do and play on my urges like I thought I wanted to, like I would have now. So that gave me the foundation and the education to have safe sex instead of just going out there and being promiscuous at a young age, and we don't know what could happen, all the things that could have happened then. So when I was younger, about 18, 19, the sexual urges were just so strong. So I started looking for marriage, because you had to be married to have sex. That's just it. Period. Point blank. You had to be married to have sex. And honestly, there was nobody in the congregation that I wanted to be married to. And there's a couple of guys, but really everybody there was just were happy where they were at. And I've never been content where I was at. I'm always reaching forward. I'm always with a new goal. I'm always with a new this, that, and the other. I've reached this goal. Now let's climb this mountain. Let's climb this mountain. That's just where I am. That's just who I am. So for me to be happy in a small town, and to be happy in a small town, be content, and be someone's wife in the manner that the organization says someone to be a wife, that just wasn't it for me. So around 21, I started having premarital sex. Ooh. And I got this fellowship about September. 21 is when I lost my virginity, about May. And by September, I was out. The sit-down interview with the elders of the congregation was very interesting. They wanted to know how many times I had sex. That I literally got asked a question from May to September, or May to August, excuse me, how many times have I had sex? Me, I didn't care. I mean, it was over 20, let's say at that time, okay? But to an organization to sit down and ask you intimate questions, what positions, who with, this is not information that you need to know to kick me out. If I'm doing it and I'm not repentant, fine. I'm gone. You get what I'm saying? So, I got out. Soon after, 9/11 happened, and I sure as hell thought that Armageddon was coming. Like, I really, really did. Oh my God, I did. 9/11 happened, Twin Towers falling. I was with my Turkish boyfriend at the time, and we literally watched the towers fall in the bed. And I was almost repentant, but then something just told me to stay out, and I'm very thankful I did. I am doing these series of videos because now I'm a personal trainer, and I deal a lot with emotional and abuse. Being emotionally and spiritually abused myself, I totally get it. So this is just my story in an intro, because what we're going to talk about now is different things that you may find that you have had or have experienced due to your emotional abuse, and you might not know that these things are because you were abused at a young age or whenever. You'll find that these things are not normal, and just different ways to let them go. This week and this past 2 weeks, I've been digging a lot into the Jehovah's Witness organization, the old beliefs, how things have been, how things were, and the old programming that just, oh my God, sits with you. It literally sits with you. I've been out since 2001, but I don't think I actually left mentally until last week. I don't think I mentally left until last week. And that's shocking, amazing. They feed you with the guilt, fear, and obligation. A different gentleman on YouTube said that, and it just was. That's exactly what they do. They feed you with that, and I've been living in guilt, fear, and obligation this whole time, and now I don't anymore. So now I'm able to speak out. Now I'm able and wanting to speak out and help others. And as I talked to my other friend who's Jehovah's Witness, and she's also disfellowshipped, we had one common thread, and actually I met a couple of friends of mine who are also in Atlanta that I've met and seen and get to hang out with now, who were disfellowshipped. We all have one common thread. We all have this one common thread where we're trying to feed and nurture ourselves. So whether it is Jehovah's Witnesses or not, or another different organization, or however you're emotionally and spiritually abused, I hope these videos can help you see where you were emotionally and physically abused and how you're kind of nurturing yourselves and how you can dig into it and let that shit go. Needless to say, I'm no longer a Jehovah's Witness. This is not to help, hinder, or talk about anybody who was in any way that knows me. I still respect and honor you, even though you don't talk to me. But when you're ready to come out, inbox me below. Share with me your experiences as well, because I would love to interview people and also talk about how these fears and these truths have come about. But enjoy the videos. Let me know, comment, let me know what you think. I'm Angela Emery, and it's time to radiate.